Hello, 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 everybody. Um, well, I wanted to do this to address the situations that happened over at PFC. It's very, I don't even know how to put it. I almost say it's a lot. 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 I don't even know where to start. I guess there's a lot of, oh, damn, what the fuck? Damn. Um, okay. I wonder what's, damn. Means I got to do this. Hey, we did it. There we go. All right, cool. That was a whole unnecessary amount of time. I guess what I'm trying to say is that wow, dude. Do you really every time? Every okay, cool. I think we got it now. Hopefully it stays. Stay camera. Jeez. That's ridiculous. Okay, so I guess as the media personality for PFC, at least that's how I view myself. I should address the situations that happened. I try to be unbiased. I really do. I do my best to be unbiased. But obviously, I have my favorites and I have my um, loyalties that I have to uphold. The situation, I guess I'll start from the beginning. There's been many situations where something has happened and there's been a riot to break out, and the riots aren't. I want to be clear here. I don't believe that anything is Robert's fault. In terms of like how people react to certain things, Robert can't control everybody. He can't. He's just one man. So I just want to be clear about that. I don't think anything is uh, directly Robert's fault. So anyone who says otherwise, I believe is in the wrong, and I think everyone is in agreement in that. All right, moving on. There's been situations where there has been obviously fights breaking out, and those situations. I mean, there was a whole mess of videos that happened 2 or 3 weeks ago where people were sucking or punching people, running up on people. It was just chaos, utter chaos. And how are you even supposed to control that? The security at the club couldn't even control that. That's one thing. Second thing, people making these bets and not following through. It is what it is, right? People made bets. You make a bet, you follow through. If the card was in the other hand, I believe things would have been just as hectic. Maybe things would have been paid off. You know, maybe there wouldn't have been an issue if Armand had lost. Who knows? All I know is that there was a lot of stubbornness going around, a lot of stubbornness that shouldn't have been there. Like, we're there to create a better environment for people to have an outlet to go and box, to go and let out their frustrations, to do what they need to do, and feel welcome in a community that's created by Robert. And it seems like people always want to put their own egos to the forefront when ego should be set aside in that situation. So that's number two. Number three, there was a lot of, I don't want to say favoritism, but almost like, I guess favoritism is probably the best word towards certain situations, certain people. And I feel as long as you have that, order will never be put into play. I believe if you want an environment where everyone can be trusted, where everyone will work together, they have to do so evenly across the board. I believe rules should be set and rules should be enforced and followed. I believe people should be banned that start fights or get in those altercations. I know a few fighters were involved in those videos that came out not too long ago. I know the fighters were involved. Everyone can see it. It's in the videos, and nothing was done. And I think you set a precedent when you don't do certain things, when you don't enforce certain rules for some people, but you do enforce them for others. And I know it's hard. It's so hard to enforce it, especially when they're your friends. It's not easy to tell when someone that you care about that, hey man, you can't be doing that shit when you know they're gonna do it anyway, or you know they're that type of person and you've already accepted them for it. It's really hard to press an issue and say you have to listen to these rules and be the bigger person when you're connected to them more so as a family or as a friend than in terms of a business partner. It's very, very, very hard to enforce those. I get that. I understand that. I've been in that situation. I know. But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean you should skip out on doing it. It doesn't mean that people should be lenient towards it. It just means maybe you need help. Maybe you need someone else. Maybe you need an enforcer to do those things for you so you don't have to be involved there and all you have to worry about is the business of it. Maybe the show is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and it's really hard for one person to control. I think Rob needs help at the end of the day. That's what I think personally. I don't like the whole situation, how it went down, but I'm loyal to my friends. I'm loyal to Lucas. And as soon as he took the knee, I made the decision that I wasn't going to air any of the interviews that I did. And I won't be returning until they return. And I love PFC. I love what Rob's doing out there. I do. I believe in it. Gloves up, guns down. I believe in that. And I think everyone that goes there believes in it. I think that's the whole reason they got so big because they are believing in it. But if you want to continue to build that, if you want to continue to create that kind of environment, you need to enforce those rules and set a precedent to those people who may not be so easy to convince that it needs to be done. It's not easy to tell people that they need to listen. It really isn't. But it needs to be done. It needs to be done, especially if you want to keep on carrying on this organization in the manner that you are carrying it. I think it's a great organization. I have nothing but love for Rob and what he does, but I do believe that he needs an enforcer. I do believe that you need someone else to work with to go in there to enforce these rules, so you don't have to worry about, uh, you know, getting in those situations, starting those situations. One thing that really struck me about what happened Saturday was Rob got on the mic. He controlled the crowd. He was about to get to controlling the crowd. Got them to calm down a little bit. Told them like, hey man, anybody who comes in here who does this, I don't care if you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter. This is what's gonna happen from now on if you don't do this. And then someone had said something, and on the mic, Rob says, "Well, I'm not talking about you." At that moment, I felt like he lost a lot of respect. At that moment, I felt you should be the person to enforce it towards everybody. You can't just blatantly have favoritism out in the open like that. It makes everyone else feel like, oh, they're special. So I guess fuck me, right? It makes them feel like that. And I'm not saying you feel like that. I'm not saying that you don't respect anyone any less than anyone else. But the way that you put it out there, you almost had everyone there. And as soon as someone said something and you backtracked, that's when all shit went loose. And that's when things just I think that's when decisions were made to forfeit a title. I think that's when decisions were made to relinquish the responsibilities of being a champion. And I hope Rob learns from this. I think he's going to. He's a very smart individual. He's a very very driven individual. I think he's going to learn great things from this. All great leaders do, and he is a great leader. There's no denying that. And I want to say that I will stand by Too Strong. I will. I will always stand by Too Strong. He's a friend of mine. He's a great asset to what I do. He's the only reason I knew about PFC. He's the only reason I ever went out there and covered PFC. I wanted to do interviews with everyone there, all the fighters. I love doing this because I want to give people an opportunity to speak their mind. I want to give these fighters a voice to be heard. I want to give them an opportunity to be seen by their friends and family doing all these things, getting out there. You get in the ring and you fight. You put in your life and your blood on the line, your head, your health, all that. You think those fighters don't walk out of those fights unscathed? You don't think they don't walk out with bumps and bruises all over them, waking up sore the next day? Yes, they do. They're going in there and they're fighting and they deserve that respect. I want to give them that respect as a media personality. I want to give them that respect as someone who appreciates the sport, as sports enthusiast, as a journalist, as who I am, and whatever power I have. Not saying that I have any or that I do have any. All I know is that I do these interviews. People love them. You can see the views on the interviews. The views on the interviews that I do with the fighters after the fights get way more views than any of my other videos. Well, right away, they get more views than all the other videos right away. It's like a flash in the pan. People just want to see. They're hungry to see what these fighters have to say, who they're gonna call out next, what they thought during the fight, what they felt after the fight. I want to keep on doing that, but I am loyal to my friends. And when he took a knee, I agreed with it. I thought it was the right decision. I thought it was the right decision. I still feel like it's the right decision, and I'm sure many other people do as well. And I hope I hope Rob learns from this. I really do, and I believe he will. I truly believe he will. I don't think there's going to be any doubt in my mind that he's going to make PFC bigger and better for this. But things have to change. It's now getting bigger. It's bigger than the four road than the crossroads that you started this on. It's bigger than the backyard. It's bigger than the garage. It's bigger than all the other places you've ever been to. You're now at Club Truth. This is getting, and it's only going to get bigger if you keep on going the way. Well, if you fix the way that you're going. And and those are my thoughts. I think it should be even across the board, regardless of who they are. And I know she's not coming back, and she's talking about doing her own organization. That's fine and dandy. But I'm talking about more than that. I'm talking more than the bets. I'm talking about the fights, the brawls, the sucker punches that are going on. I'm talking about all the stuff that is seeping into this organization. It needs to be weeded out. It needs to be weeded out, and it needs to be weeded out now. I mean, how much is too much? How far is too far? In my opinion, you lost two of the three dominant champions that you have. Third one being Mr. Lightwork. And I think all of it could have been handled better, I guess is what I'm getting at. So those are my thoughts on it. Let's see what the comments say. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, oh, and another thing I want to address too is some of these situations, some of these decisions that go on are just super biased. I mean, nothing against any of the fighters because the fighter should understand you need to finish the fight. You don't want to leave the fight to the judges. You don't. You don't want to leave the fight to the judges, but there's obviously blatant favoritism in some of these fights. I don't believe Lucas should have had that draw. I don't believe that the Mr. Lightwork fight should have been a split decision. I think there's been a lot of wrong decisions. I don't think Cell should have that one blemish on his record. I don't think he ever should have lost that fight. I really don't. I think there's a lot of questionable decisions that happen, and I don't know if it's favoritism or maybe you're just trying to keep people coming or maybe it is what it is. I don't know. All I know is that I'm not the first person to bring up these judges. I'm not the first person to bring up the way that they're judging everything, and I'm not the first person to complain about them. I know that for sure. Things need to change. They need to change. They need to change for the better, especially if you want the type of quality competition that Too Strong and his team brings. You definitely want to change things, and I don't see anything wrong with um with taking a knee and protesting until they do. That's what they do in the big leagues. That's what they do here. That's what needs to be done now. There's just a lot. So I think that's it. I think I covered everything. Um, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Absolutely, AP. Absolutely, man. Lucas is from my hometown, man. I support the man no matter what. He's a great friend, great fighter, a great champion, and an even better leader. That man took a knee for more than just Cell. He took a knee for the whole organization of PFC, for all the fighters. He took a knee for something much bigger than he is. And for that reason, I stand with him. I support the man. I do. I love PFC and I love what Rob's doing. I really do. but I gotta take a knee, and I can't. I won't be coming out until Too Strong and the team decide to come back. And that's I don't know what that was. What was that? Let's see what this says. The fact that certain people can come in there and treat Truth like it's their clubhouse. It's just swing on anyone at any time. It's a bad look, and you said it perfectly. Might be his buddies, but from a professional standpoint, it detours people from going and standing behind the movement. 100%, Bradley. 100%. That is true. It really does. It really. I mean, there's been times where I've wanted to invite people to come out there, but I'm not sure there's going to be a fight that breaks out. You know, I'm not sure. I can't ever guarantee them that there won't be a fight that breaks out. So sometimes I just don't even invite them. And these are people that good standing people, high quality people. You know what I mean? The type of people that you want at those types of events to support those types of events to get you the bigger and higher places. And sometimes I I I've been not sometimes, all the time. I don't I'll invite people that ask me about it, but I won't ever go out of my way to invite people to go there unless it's on here. I definitely promote you. I push your brand out there. I push PFC out there, but I don't want to be responsible for inviting someone to go out there and then they get involved in a brawl or they get sucker punched or something happens to them in this way and that and yada 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 left right because of an environment that there's no control of, that you can't control, or that you just haven't controlled. Just like Bradley said, I'm not the first person to bring this up. I'm not the last person that'll bring it up. There's many situations that have happened where you're getting people from the stands threatening to jump people. I mean, I've heard it. I've seen it. I've stood next to people that have just blatantly blurted it out saying, "I'll be right behind you, you know, get him. I'll be right behind you." And it's like, man, come on, dude. That's not the type of environment that anyone wants to be at. But I don't know. I don't know. And far from bashing Robert and the PFC, but you said it best. He needs to make changes as the PFC grows. Absolutely, he does. 100%, he does. It's there's no getting around that. Things need to change, and they need to change in a big way. And hopefully, he gets help because I'm telling you, it's hard to control people as one person. You need help. Dana White and the Fertitas. It wasn't just Dana White, it was Dana White and the Fertitas. Any organization has people helping them come up. It's not just one person. Maybe one person outshines the rest of them, but it's never just one person. And I think Robert needs to reach out and get some good people behind him, get some solid people behind him that can help him build PFC to where he wants it to be and how he wants it to be. I think he's got a great idea for it. I really do. I really do. But like I said, I stand by Lucas. I stand by Lucas. I stand by Too Strong, Team Too Strong. I stand by Cell. There was a lot of situations that happened even before that. You know, even before the bets happened, even before this whole situation. It's not the first time where things happen. It could have gone way haywire. I mean, there's been times where brawls have busted out, like we were just saying. There's been times where people have been handled and that weren't even involved in the situation. Sucker punches. I mean, there was that video of the girl that walked up behind old girl and then just beat the shit out of her essentially and left her to fucking walk away. And then she was walking away in the first place. She got sucker punched hardcore. That happened there. That's a bad look. That's a really bad look. And I understand it's not your fault, but you are the CEO. That is your company. That is your organization. It falls on you regardless of whether or not it's your fault or not, because you're the one presenting the product. So that's my take on the whole situation. If you're on my Raul Contreras page commenting, I can't see what you're saying, but I'm sure I'll read it when I get off of here. And you know what? The last thing I just want to say is, you know, it takes a big person to accept a loss. It takes an even bigger person to take a loss, and it takes an even bigger, a great person even, to take a loss for a cause, to take a knee. Lucas Too Strong Gwaltney took a knee for more than just him, for more than just Cell, for more than Team Too Strong. He took it for all the wrongs that have been happening, all the wrongs that have been happening, all the wrong decisions, all the bad calls, all the fight outbreaks, all the sucker punches, all of that. He took a knee for all of that. We should respect this man. He's a great champion. He's never done the PFC wrong. He doesn't go in there disrespecting people. He doesn't call people out, call them names. He doesn't do any of that. He walks in there with respect. Teams Too Strong walks in there with respect. All of them do. No trash talk, no nothing. Go in there, they handle business, and then they leave. And that's it. They smile, take pictures, take drinks, party it up with people, just hanging out, creating a good environment, inviting fighters out to his training, to his garage for free, representing Rodriguez BJJ. This man took an L, relinquished his belt for all of us. We should appreciate and respect that man.